Hey everyone, this is Lemon Girl Fresh for season 2, episode 8. As you can see, the setup for the video is a bit different today. I'm having some technical difficulties with my camera that I've been using, so hopefully by next week or next weekend, we will have some updated equipment with some better sound because it was just impossible for me to get you a quality video, and I wasn't going to give you a video of just static in the background. So we're going to still have a video. It's actually going to be the video that I plan to have. So what you're seeing is what I would have presented to you anyway. But I just want to make sure I got a video to you before I go back to work. I'm not going physically to work to teach all the kids. I will be remote learning, remote teaching, which, I'm just here for the cause, basically. But yeah, I just want to make sure I touch base with you on a really important topic before the educational season starts. So let's get at it. All right, so there's an elephant in the kitchen. We're not going to eat or cook the elephant, but we are going to talk about the elephant, chop it up, and just come to some conclusions about things we can do to address the elephant in the kitchen. And that elephant is portion control. Yes. It's a controversial topic, but I firmly believe that it is something that we have to talk about as the Lemon Girl Fresh community, seek to improve our health. So you might be feeling like, man, I'm eating everything right, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm working out, but why in the world am I not seeing any progress? Well, we're going to talk about those reasons right now. So here are the top 10 reasons we overeat. Now, I'm sure there might be 25 reasons or 50, but this is a pretty quick Google search if you're looking, and this pretty much sums up reasons why we overeat. So your friends, that's number one. Okay, everybody has a party or a get together or birthdays, holidays, just hanging out, anniversaries, baby showers, all kind of stuff that there's just food at. And it's like, if you don't eat, people are gonna be like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, like that happens a lot where you're just like, no, I don't want to eat anything, and people just keep giving you food. So yeah, that really kills the vibe if you're trying not to overeat. Your plate might be too big. Okay, you're tired. So you have things to do, but you're still needing to get energy to complete those tasks. You can't just go to bed. So the simple solution is just to eat, to keep yourself awake. Number 4, you're bored. Boredom is definitely something that will prompt you or provoke you to eat more. If you drink too much alcohol or juice or sodas, you won't get the nutrients that you need, which is number 5. And so after you have wasted your energy with drinking, then you're going to just make up all those missed calories and nutrients by eating a lot more to make up for what you lost. If you're dehydrated, you might mistake your dehydration for needing more food. Number 7, you eat too quickly, so you don't allow your stomach to communicate to your brain that you are at your limit as far as food is concerned. Number 8, you've already broken your diet, so what's the point? Let's just keep going. 9, you feel deprived, and that's not just food. That could be emotions, that could be love, friendship, your job, whatever the case may be, you just feel deprived in general. And number 10, oh, I will start my workout or my diet or my training tomorrow. Tomorrow is used a lot, and there's only so many tomorrows you can get, all right? Because life is short. So, those are the top 10 reasons. So, let's talk about what happens if we do overeat. Okay, so let's say, we get caught up and we eat way too much that day. Well, I'm going to hit the don'ts first because we're already in that negative spiral, and I just want to encourage you in this moment. So, number 1, don't feel guilty. Okay? 2, don't beat yourself up. Those are the 2 that honestly, they go hand in hand, because you can get really down, and if you are feeling a certain type of way emotionally, which caused you to eat too much, it's just a vicious cycle. You're like, man, I'm so sad that I ate so much, so I'm going to eat a lot of food. I'm really sad that I ate so much, so I'm going to eat a lot of food. And it's a continual cycle. So instead of doing that, just try not to feel guilty, because it'll just keep you in that circle. So bounce from one extreme to another. Do not do that either. And that happens a lot. Like if I eat a lot of food, then tomorrow I'm just not going to eat anything. And then I'm just going to create this vacuum all over again. Okay? The other thing is eat as little as possible, or do all this extra cardio, or give up your goals. So all these things are just really negative fixed mindset behaviors that can prevent you from reaching your goals. So let's say that you, again, want to be positive instead. Well, if you've eaten a lot of food, go ahead and drink a lot of water to kind of wash that down. Make your next meal better. That's a great way to bounce back. Eat extra veggies. That creates more fiber. Crush a great training session. I would say cross training or strength training, but make sure it has a mixture of everything in it. Reflect on what happened and what caused you to fall into the decision to eat a lot, and just learn from your mistake. So let's say you're really stressed out that day and you realize you ate a lot of food. Well, figure out what stressed you out and come up with some coping strategies to prevent you from reverting to eating a lot of food. So those are some things you can think about when it pertains to eating too much, but just, again, don't beat yourself up. Your meal that you ate is not the last meal, thankfully, and you can have another chance with the next meal that you take. So those are just things to think about when you make the mistake of eating too much. Okay, so I have been with Kaiser Permanente since I'd say I was 4 years old. They are a great outfit of medical coverage. And now that I'm a public servant, I am with them again, and they are my support team. I mean, obviously you have your family and friends, your boss. If you are religious, you have God, which is huge leg up in life. But there are angels sent to provide support for you as well. And I really feel like this healthcare provider is a very well-rounded support system. So they know that I am a triathlete, and they have worked with me in coming up with meal plans that meet my dietary and athletic needs. And the information that I'm about to share with you is basically practical ways in which you can make a better meal. So like I said before, when you overeat, one of the solutions is to just make your meal better next time. And so that's easier said than done. And the information I'm going to share with you is going to provide you some really great meals to prepare breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack for 5 days a week. And you can, of course, repeat them however you want. But really, really great resources coming to you from www.kphealthyme.com. That's kphealthyme.com. So let's get to it. So this is an example of one of Kaiser's meal plans. This is the 1,500 calorie plant-based diet meal plan. This is the one I'm using, and the link to the PDF for this will be in the description below the video. So before you even get started with figuring out what to do with your food, it is important, extremely important, to emphasize water in your diet, just to make sure that you're getting enough. I love this water bottle. It is 3 liters. Don't ask me to convert that to US units, but I really go through this quite a bit. And I can put my electrolytes in there, natural or what have you, whatever fruits or veggies I want to put in there to just make sure I get my nutrients. I can put that in my water and drink it throughout the day. All right, so here is basically an example of a meal plan journal. This is very important just to help you get your bearings with how to keep up with your food, just like you would go to an academic advisor and get a map of your curriculum for your degree, or if you're planning a trip, you would get the directions set up so that you're not just blindly going ahead to your destination. Because it's such a new experience, it would really, really behoove you to have a journal or notebook of some sort to keep up with what it is you're eating, so that you can just record that in your mind, and also have your measurement utensils ready just to help you with meeting your limits and guidelines. Very, very, very important stuff. So when it comes to meal plans, we usually have the excuse of not having enough Tupperware. And so I went to, I believe it's Big Lots, and found this 50-piece set for $9. It's excellent. It has small cups, it has larger square cubes. It's just excellent. And so I really, really enjoy using that. And another hesitation is that a lot of times we end up being afraid that we'll lose all the pieces to this. But if you're using your meals every day and making more meals the next day, it'll help you keep up with all the Tupperware in the 50-piece set. But again, Big Lots or Ollie's for $9. So our first meal is breakfast. This is after you've probably had, I'd say, a couple cups of water, so 2 cups of water, and now you're venturing into breakfast. As you can see here, I have 1 cup of cereal and half a banana, that's half a banana, and a teaspoon of all-natural peanut butter. Also, what goes with that is half a cup of milk, and then you could drink the other half of cup of milk to make a whole cup, just to make sure you get enough fat and nutrients. But this is what I would have for breakfast. You could do oatmeal if you want. You can do other kinds of cereal, but what I have here is a lightly sweetened oatmeal squares with a mixture of the Total Bran flakes for all the vitamins and minerals that those flakes contain. But yeah, that's what I eat in the morning, and again, this helps me stay within my limits for the 1,500 calories. You could replace the bananas for peaches or any other fruits. Just make sure that the measurements are still the same. And on the updated Kaiser Permanente plant-based meal plan, they have some pretty good mixtures of things that you can eat, like pineapple chunks and things of that nature, just so that you don't get tired of the food you eat when you're trying to eat healthier. Variety is very important to keep you and your brain and your stomach and metabolism on their toes. So the next meal is lunch, and this consists of 2 cups of vegetables. So those 2 cups of vegetables consist of a half cup of the spring mix lettuce, because I want to get some dark green veggies in there. Like, lots of dark greens are very important for you. So I have those as half a cup. I have half a cup of fresh tomatoes from my parents' garden. Shout out to my parents for providing delicious tomatoes. And then I have 1 cup of sauteed eggplant steaks, little steaks that I sauteed in just probably a teaspoon of olive oil and some garlic, herb, Mrs. Dash, and just a dash of salt. Okay, so those veggies make up the 2 cups of veggies. I have a protein in there that is the chorizo. I made a chorizo shepherd's pie and recently, and had some veggie meat left over, so that is a great addition to a salad. It's delicious and has some other veggies in there as well. And then there is half a cup of garbanzo beans as well for my starch servings. So these are all in here to make up my entire meal, and then I'm allowed 1 small apple to complete my meal. So that is what lunch would look like here. I also would like to mention that I also am allowed a tablespoon of fat, and the way I spend that is by using a balsamic vinaigrette dressing on my salad, just to give it some additional flavor to go with the veggies and the chorizo. For dinner, this is probably my favorite meal of the day, because I get a smoothie out of the deal, and I call it my fruit shot. So the fruit shot consists of 1 serving of fruit, which is 1/2 cup of peaches, fresh peaches. I have lots of peaches from peach picking this summer. I have 1 serving of fat, which is 1 teaspoon of peanut butter. And then there are a couple of snacks that I could have pulled or used throughout the day, but I chose to save them until dinner to get this delicious smoothie. So that consists of 1 cup of milk, which I only did half a cup. I just did half a cup of milk because I would basically be drowning my fruit if I put 1 cup in there. So that's 1 cup of the almond milk. And there was also an additional fruit that I could have put in there as well. So I used the other half of that banana. And that's where I got my sweetness from, which prevented me from having to add any honey or stevia or whatever. So that was there for the fruit. And I also put in the vitamins that I'll talk about in just a moment. The salad is half a cup of dark green veggies, a spring mix at the bottom. I have 2/3 cup of rice. So that can be any rice that you would like to add to that. Mine is basmati. That's my favorite rice. You could do quinoa or whatever you want to do. Barley, if you want to do that as well. I also have my the chorizo there also, which is going to be my meat serving or my veggie meat serving. And I also have just a couple chunks of tomato just to round out that half a cup of lettuce to go with. And then also the side of zucchini and squash. Just really great meal. I would also add that these B vitamins, the complex that I have there, really supports metabolism to make sure that all carbs, any sugars that you have are being broken down properly so that you don't go into a pre-diabetic or diabetic state. So these are really important. So the question becomes, you know, is this really worth all the trouble? Portion control, does it really make a difference? Well, I'll tell you this. I hate running. I have no shame in admitting that. I absolutely hate running. I do not like it for so many reasons. But in order for me to be successful with triathlons, I need to have a successful run, and it needs to be under 40 minutes to be anywhere close to being able to rank to anything. I need to be in the 20s and 30s for my runs. So building up to that has been very difficult. And I would say, even though I've been running pretty consistently, I really haven't seen the growth that I've wanted. And a lot of times I go from high 40s, sometimes 50s. Sometimes I'll come close to 42. And then after a while, I will just kind of plateau out. And it's been very frustrating for me. So I decided to really commit to my training diet and see what kind of results I could get. Well, just within 1 week of committing to the training diet, I was able to bring my 5K to 40 minutes and 38 seconds. That is the shortest I have ran a 5K, and honestly, I probably would have been in the 30s had I not gotten a couple phone calls during my run that kind of slowed me down during some really important transitions. But I really hope to be in the mid 30s, low 30s by September 27th, which is my next run. But I feel amazing. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that creative improv episode. It was definitely something different, but like I said, I really wanted to get you guys connected to some really awesome resources before the school year starts, whether you have children or you are in school or just getting back into the swing of things. I just wanted to make sure that I just reached out to you and connected with you before things got really busy on my end. The other thing I want to emphasize about just having a meal plan and sticking with portion control is that there is an economic benefit to this because you're not eating yourself out of house and home. If you're sticking with your plan and sticking with your limits, then you will see your food spread out for longer periods of time. You're not just eating through your kitchen because you're eating everything in sight because you think you're hungry. You will just spend a lot less. So as you know, I emphasize in the video, I will be posting and adding the Kaiser meal plans in the description at the bottom of this video for not only plant-based diet, but just all the general diets that you're looking for. The whole nutritional section will be available for you, whether you're a Kaiser healthcare customer or not. Okay, so that's available for you in a PDF. So remember, do not beat yourself up if you overeat. Drink lots of water. Continue working out with strength training. Make your next meal something better. Look at those meal plans and make some just changes so that your next plan won't be as heavy or as much. Okay. Don't think that it's pointless to never try. I don't care if you are 400 pounds. There is still hope. Even if you're higher than that, it really doesn't matter. everybody starts somewhere, and it is possible for everybody, no matter where you are and what your situation is. Now, those of you who know me know that I'm a math teacher and I love math history. And one of my favorite mathematicians is Blaise Pascal. He's a French mathematician, but he was also a Christian. And he wrote some serious, serious, deep words about the voids we try to fill in our lives. And it definitely pertains to food as well. It says here, what is it then that this desire, hunger, and this inability proclaim to us, but that there was once in man a true happiness, of which there now remained to him only the mark and empty trace, which he in vain tries to fill from all his surroundings, seeking from things absent the help he does not obtain in things present? But these are all inadequate, because the infinite abyss can only be filled by an infinite and immutable object, that is to say, only by God himself. He only is our true good, and since we have forsaken him, it is a strange thing that there is nothing in nature which has not been serviceable in taking his place. The stars, the heavens, earth, the elements, plants, food, cabbage, leeks, animals, insects, calves, serpents, etc., etc., etc. He basically lays out here that even in those moments where we're tired, where we're hungry, where we feel like we have been missing out on something, where, we are coping with some kind of emotional strain, there is not a food in this world that can help us medicate those problems. So the best thing we can do is seek the true source of healing and leave the food to our nourishment only and not as a coping mechanism. The other thing is create a space and time to plan properly. Okay, and as you do it more and more, it'll be easier to do so that you don't have to make things as structured. You can actually just know, hey, this is enough food for me. If I'm out, I'm only going to get this amount. But really, while you're getting to the hang of things, just really make sure to create a space and time for you to plan your meals. And the more you plan the day before, the easier it'll be for you to just pop open that fridge, look and get your meal that's already prepared and eat it. There's not a lot of energy put in to making healthy meals. Why do I ask you to put in this time? Because you matter. You are valuable. You are created to be healthy and strong and to love and be loved. And so I just want you to know that you're worth these efforts that you're putting in. Tell yourself that by what you eat. Tell yourself that by what you decide to do when you are not feeling well, you're tired, or you're lonely, or you're bored. Do not always revert to food. Okay, food is there for a reason, but it's definitely not the end-all be-all solution to everything. But I am so proud of you guys for all your progress thus far, hanging there through COVID-19. And again, this is Lemon Girl Fresh telling you to live vegan, healthy, and strong with the right amount of vitamins and minerals. You all have a great week. See ya.